Good day everyone, I am Lucas Mendo Jr. from BSCD Mathematics. For today's video, we'll learn about the different rules of exponents. Without further ado, let's get started. Starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's first talk about exponential expression. It consists of two variables which is b raised to n. B stands for base, which is a number or variable that is being multiplied repeatedly in expanded form. N stands for exponent, which is a value that specifies how many times the base will multiply by itself. Okay, this is the rule number 1. Rule number 1 is a zero exponent property. It states that any number or any non-zero number which is raised to 0 is equal to 1. Okay, let's have an example. If 36 is raised to 0, it is equal to 1. Okay, let's use the rule number 1 in an equation. If 4 is multiplied to 3x which is raised to 0 over 5, the answer is that 4 multiplied by, if 3x is raised to 0, it is equal to 1 over 5. 4 multiplied by 1 is equal to 4 over 5. This is the answer. Okay, rule number 2, the negative exponent property. It states that any non-zero number which is raised to a negative exponent is not in standard form. What we need to do is to move the base with a negative exponent to the opposite side of the fraction and change the exponent into positive. Here, the assumptions here are b is not equal to 0 and n is an integer. Okay, let's apply the negative exponent rule to this equation. 3x to the power of negative 4 over y to the power of negative 2. As you can see, x and y has a negative exponent and it's not in standard form. To make it in a standard form, let's move the base with a negative exponent to the opposite side of the fraction and change the exponent to positive. Okay, let's do it step by step. Let's copy the 3 because it is a positive exponent which is 1. Then, let's move x to the power of negative 4 to the opposite side of the fraction. Change the exponent from here to here. So copy y negative 2. Y negative 2 has a negative exponent, right? So in order to make it standard, let's move it to the opposite side of the fraction. Then 3y squared over x4 from here to here. This is the final answer and it is in the standard form. Okay, rule number 3, the product property of exponents. When multiplying exponential expression with the same bases, you just need to copy the base and add the exponents. The assumptions here are b is not equal to 0 and m and n are integers. Okay, let's use the product property rule of exponents on this equation. Note that only same bases can be multiplied. On multiplying bases in the exponential expression, we just need to add the exponents of the both. First is the x. Let's just add 3 plus 1, which is 3 and 1. Next is the y. Y has 2 exponents here and y has 3 exponents here. So when multiplying, let's just copy the base, add the exponents. So x plus 4, then y plus 5. So this is the final answer. Okay, rule number 4. the quotient property of exponent. When dividing exponential expression with a common basis, you just need to copy the common base and subtract the top exponent by the bottom exponent. The assumptions here are b is not equal to 0 and m and n are integers. Okay, let's apply the rule number 4, which is the quotient property of exponent. Note that only common bases can be divided. You just need to minus or subtract the top and the bottom exponent. So here, x is common base. You just need to subtract the top and bottom. Next is y. Then subtract the top and bottom exponents. The answer is x 4 minus 2 equals 2 and y is 1. So this is the final answer, how to simplify expression using quotient property of exponent. Rule number 5. The power of a power property of exponent. When an exponential expression is raised to a power, you just need to copy the base and multiply the inner and outer exponent. The assumptions here are b is not equal to 0 and m and n are integers. Okay, let's apply the rule number 5, which is the power of power property of exponent. As you can see, x cubed is raised to 4. Here, we just copy the base and multiply the inner exponent to the outer exponent. So, x is equal to 12. That's the final answer. Okay, rule number 6. The power of a product property of exponent. When the product of two or more factors was raised to a power, copy each factor and multiply its exponent to the outer exponent. We have to do it for each factor in the parentheses. The assumptions here are b is not equal to 0 and a is not equal to 0 and n is an integer. Okay, let's apply the rule number 6, which is the power of product property of exponent. Here, the factors are 3, x cubed, y, 4, which is raised to the power of 2. Each factors, or the exponents of each factors, will be multiplied to the outer exponent. Such 3 multiplied by 1 times 2. Then, the factor of x, 3, the exponent will be multiplied by the outer, and y, which is 4, multiplied by the outer exponent, which is 2. So the answer is 3, 1 times 2, 2, x 6 and y 8. Is that? So simplify. 3 power of 2 is 9, x 6 and y 8. This is the final answer. 9x6 y8. Rule number 7. The power of a quotient property of exponent. When a quotient is raised to a power, copy the factor of a numerator and multiply its exponent to the outer exponent. The same with the factor in the denominator, copy its exponent and multiply to the outer exponent. We assume here that b is not equal to 0 and a is not equal to 0, and m is an integer. Okay, let's apply the rule number 7 into this equation. As you can see, the quotient of x4 and y squared is raised to 2. What we will do is to copy the numerator or the factor of the numerator and multiply its exponent to the outer exponent. The same with the denominator, copy the factor and multiply its exponent to the outer exponent. So x 4 times 2 is 8 and y 2 times 2 is equal to 4. This is the final answer, x 8 plus y 4. Those are just some basic rules of exponents. Thank you for watching and hope you learned.